Hello, my name is Transformative, and today I'm going to read you my Substack piece, The Love That Liberates, Why Healing Our Shadows is the Ultimate Form of Activism. Most mainstream activist movements have missed the single greatest factor in catalyzing collective liberation. While many well-meaning groups are fueled by a righteous desire for change, their approach can inadvertently perpetuate the very systems of harm they aim to dismantle. This widespread leftist rush to condemn the oppressor, cancel culture, anyone, not only fundamentally opposes abolitionist ethos, it also overlooks the quantum potentials of compassionate consciousness. In response to this antithetical expression of activism, I would like to invite us into a radically different way of being. I come to you as a queer trans man and as a survivor of domestic abuse, attempted suicide, and adolescent rape. I have been harmed by people from various walks of life, those who share my marginalized identities, those who experience oppression in ways I never will, and those whose privileges I will never hold. Although I have and still do suffer under complex systems of oppression, empathizing with where these harms have come from holds disproportionate upsides to remaining a victim. And let me be clear, empathy does not excuse these actions. Instead, it humanizes them. As I free myself from the corrosive grip of hatred, I regain access to my life force and my most valued asset, my love. To hold on to grudges is to poison myself. To forgive is to choose liberation. At the root of every act of violence, greed, or hatred lies a scared inner child desperately trying to cope in a frightening world. Intergenerational trauma spares no one, but it manifests differently in each of us. Some respond by controlling others, some by shrinking down. Yet all of us, yes, all of us, perpetuate harm in one way or another. To deny this is to deny our humanity. To point fingers and reduce entire groups of people to irredeemable villains may feel cathartic, but it is profoundly dehumanizing. It employs the same oppressive mindset that fuels the systems we claim to want to dismantle. All cops are not bastards. All cops are full, complex human beings shaped by their own unique conditioning, traumas, and circumstances. Eat the rich? How could we say that when every billionaire is a multi-dimensional soul navigating a broken system designed to reward hoarding and punish vulnerability? Every act of violence is a cry for help. When we reduce individuals to caricatures of evil, we perpetuate that violence, both on the outside and within ourselves. It is an act of internal exile to deny the parts of us that resemble those we despise. Yet when we begin to integrate and heal these parts within, we create a profound ripple effect. Our internal healing literally reshapes the collective consciousness. The abolitionist movement has long called for a reimagining of justice, one that focuses on rehabilitation, restoration, and the humanity of all involved. What if we applied this lens not just to systems, but to our inner worlds? What if we abolished the exile and punishment we impose on our own wounded parts. Restorative justice, an Indigenous-led alternative to punitive systems, offers a profound roadmap for this work as well. It invites us to hold harm accountable without stripping away humanity. It teaches us that accountability is not about punishment, it's about repair. When we learn to sit with our anger, fear, and shame instead of exiling these pieces, we discover something extraordinary. These parts hold wisdom, love, and the keys to our healing. As we integrate them, we naturally begin to extend compassion outward. The dehumanization we once directed at others dissolves because we have stopped dehumanizing ourselves. This is the metaphysical foundation of compassionate activism. As above, so below. As within, so without. I really see this universe, this world, as a fractal that's just repeating cycles from as far deep in as we can go to as far out as we can go. That's an aside. The more we accept and heal ourselves, the more our external reality transforms. Imagine a world where each person took radical responsibility for their own healing. We wouldn't need systems of punishment because we would be creating a culture of care. Folks who reduce the humanity of perpetrators to their harms caused while seeking to address symptoms of harm are actually perpetuating the root cause thereof. While slogans like ACAB and Eat the Rich may feel satisfying in the moment, they only deepen division. True healing begins when we address humanity's source wound, a lack of compassion extended out to all parts of our being. When we embrace our own shadows, we can hold space for others to do the same. Coming from a place of radical empathy looks like recognizing that even tyrants and warlords are acting out of a love for their own self-protection in a world that feels unbearably overwhelming to their own inner child. Full stop, okay? Everyone is doing their best to get their own inner child's needs met in the best way they know how. And while the harms caused may be legitimate, the soul is always forgivable. Always forgivable. Always. I got to put that word in there. When we can see that even darkness is fueled by love, it loses its power over us. To truly see the soul of another is to liberate oneself from fear. When we respond to harm with compassion instead of hatred, we create the conditions for a more just and loving world. This isn't always easy, right? Earth is an advanced spiritual school for souls to learn that love is the only answer, no matter the question. But it is hard down here. I believe wholly and completely in the power of compassionate consciousness to transform the world. And I believe it starts from within. So let's start by sitting with our own shadows. Let's abolish the inner systems of exile and punishment that cause the outer ones. Let's choose empathy even when it feels impossible. This is how we change the world. Not by yelling louder, but by loving deeper. I have a workbook that I've created for inner shadow integration that's linked here. And I've also linked to helplines if you or someone that you know is at risk of harm from self or another. And I also want to note that I am recovering from a flu. And I'm not at my usual capacity today for articulation. This felt vulnerable for me to share and to attempt to explain with my brain fog, but in an effort to overcome perfectionism and just express my passions with the means that I have today, I've chosen to share this piece. So I hope it finds you well, and thank you for being here with me. And subscribe to the Substack if it feels aligned for you, and to my YouTube channel as well if it's your vibe. Okay, sending you lots of love.